Hey guys, welcome to the first official channel of the Obsidian Academy. I'm Nemo Devo, guys, and for our first deck of the day, guys, we're gonna go over the Machina archetype, kind of showing you the deck list that I have. We tried to make a more of a budget version of this deck. We all know how expensive Yu-Gi-Oh can be, and when I was trying to make this deck, I really wanted to try to make it a fun, aggressive deck, even though it doesn't have those big cards like Forbidden Droplet, Blossom. And this deck can easily be made. You can easily buy 3 of the structure decks for this archetype, and you can easily make this work. Guys, we're gonna have another video that you guys can watch. It is a way more in-depth video. We go into it with combos and like why these cards we usually run, but for this video we're just gonna kind of show you guys what we run and all that. So let's get started, guys. So first up, we run our triple Machina Citadels. So Machina Citadel pretty much states that it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be summoned by a card effect. Now this guy has a built-in Regeki where it states that you can target one machine type monster, including himself, and you wipe your opponent's monsters equal to or less than the attack of the machine type monster you chose. So pretty much if you have Machina Citadel, you can pick any of your machine monsters or even himself, and you wipe the entire field. You can easily wipe the board. It's incredible. This card is amazing. He also has a second ability where that if a earth machine type monster is destroyed, you can special summon him from your graveyard. So he's a incredible 3k beat stick with a built-in Regeki. Highly recommend running him at 3. Next up, guys, we have our triple Machina Fortress. This card is absolutely amazing. Pretty much how to bring him out, you pretty much discard machine type monsters that equal 8 or more, and you can bring him from your hand or graveyard. Now one thing to keep in mind is you can also pitch himself from your hand. So if you had 2 Machina Fortresses, you can pitch both to bring one out. So it's really nice. If he's destroyed by battle, you can pop 1 card on the field. So really nice on that aspect. And if he's targeted by a monster effect, your opponent's monster effect, you can look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card from it. It's absolutely amazing. This card is so good in the Machina lineup. Some decks run it at 2. You can easily get away with 2. I like it at 3 just because that you can keep pitching monsters to the graveyard to keep bringing this card out and like extending your plays. So definitely run this bad boy at 3. All right, guys, next up we have triple Machina Air Raiders. This card is absolutely amazing as well for the Machina archetype. So pretty much what this card does is you discard 1 Machina monster to special summon it straight from your hand to the field, and pretty much in defense position. I'm sorry, you don't have to special summon in defense position. That's what its effect will do. But what this card does is that you can target 1 machine type monster, and then you can control special summon 1 Machina monster from your graveyard that has levels equal to or lower than the monster you chose. So once that monster is special summoned, you destroy Machina Air Raider, and what makes this card so good is that 1, he allows you to bring your monsters back from the graveyard, and if you have Citadel in your graveyard, once they're destroyed, he gets to come back to the field. So it's an amazing card, great combo extender as well. Highly recommend running him at 3. All right, guys, next we have triple Air Raiders. This card is absolutely incredible. This card is very similar to Radiator, but what this one does is that you discard a Machina monster to special summon it, and on your opponent's turn, you can select a machine type monster, special summon a Machina from your deck to the field equal to the level or lower. So great card. Really like this card. And again, once the monster is supposed to summon, the target you choose gets destroyed, then Citadel can come to the field if it's in your graveyard. So really nice on that aspect. So definitely run this at 3 in my opinion. You can definitely get away with 2, but I love running it at 3. Next up, guys, we have triple Machina Gear Frame. So this guy is your searcher for Machina monsters. So when he's normal summoned, you can search any Machina monster from your deck and add it to your hand. So what's really great about this card is that you have more searches to be able to quickly get your Citadel out, your Fortress, your hand, pretty much get them out of your deck and put them into the graveyard because that's where they most benefit. So because it's a union monster, you can equip him to a Machina monster, and or machine type, and if it were to be destroyed, you destroy him instead. So a really good card because he is your searcher. Incredible to have. Next up, guys, you've got 2 Machina possessed storages. I only run 2. I don't really like it having at 3. Sometimes I might even drop it to 1, to be honest, but so far I really like it at 2 where it is. Pretty much when it's normal or special summoned, you can target 1 Machina monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position, but its effects are negated until the end of the turn. So pretty much this card is really great if you really want to get quick something like your Air Raider back to your field, and then, you know, on the next turn use Air Raider effect, target himself or possess storage, bring out a monster, destroy it, and then bring out your Citadel from the graveyard. So definitely love running him at 2. A little free mini monster reborn for your Machina monsters. Next up, guys, for the final monster lineup of the Machinas, we have Machina Revenger. So pretty much this guy is similar to Blackwing Gale, where you can discard this card and you increase the attack of your Machina by 1200 attack. Really strong on that aspect. And then when a Machina monster destroys a monster by battle and he's in your graveyard, you can actually add him back to your hand. However, keep in mind, he is only a once per turn effect, so you can't just go double up. So you can't just send it, get it back to your hand, and send it. So still really good card to have in your hand. Good card to just kind of beat over stuff. All right, guys, moving on to the next thing, we go into our scrap engine, and this is also part of the structure deck that you can get when you buy the Machina structure deck. So we have our triple scrap recyclers. Pretty much when this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 machine type monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can shuffle 2 level 4 or lower earth machine type monsters from your graveyard to your deck and draw a card. So he's just a really good foolish burial for machine type monsters. Really love him, and he combines really well with the scrap wyvern, who's also in this deck. All right, guys, next up we have 1 scrap golem. I only run him at 1. He's really a dead card if you draw into him. I don't like him otherwise. He's just so good because he combos with scrap wyvern, allowing you to bring back your scrap recycler and also do another mill. So he's really handy, but I only like him at 1. I don't like running him more than that. Next up, guys, we got a triple super express bullet train. I absolutely love this card. It is amazing for this deck. So pretty much what this card states is that you can't attack with it unless you send 2 cards from your deck, from your hand or field, to the graveyard. So it's not that great on that front, but it's the other effects that make it worth it. So you can special summon this card directly from your hand if you have all earth machine type monsters. So if you have a scrap recycler, boom, special summon straight to the field. When this card is in the graveyard, if it's sent to the graveyard this turn, you can go ahead and add 1 machine type monster other than himself from your graveyard to your hand. So he is a very good combo extender, and he's a very good recycler in his own way. Love running him at 3. I recommend it most definitely. And next up, guys, we have our 1 Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher. So this guy is really good. Pretty much he states that you can, if he's in your graveyard or in your hand, you can banish the top 8 cards of your deck face down and special summon directly to the field. And then you can banish 3 extra deck monsters face down to destroy 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Now, the reason why you should watch out for him is that, 1, you can only use 1 effect per turn, so you can't just bring him out and then use the second effect. You have to either bring him out and then wait a turn, or you got to wait till your end phase, bring him out, or wait till the end phase of your opponent, bring him out, and then when it's your turn, you can go ahead and you know, send those cards. So I really like this guy because, 1, he's level 8 because you can mill him for Fortress, and because he is a great combo finisher. So if you need to just kind of punch your opponent quickly for 2400, you got this guy right here in your graveyard. So very strong on that aspect, but only run him at 1. Next, guys, we're going to move on to our spell cards. Our next up is Machina Redeployment. So Machina Redeployment, really good bread and butter, honestly, for this deck, for your searches. Pretty much what it states is you can discard 1 card to add 2 Machina monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, but its second choice is that you can discard 1 Machina card to add any 2 Machina cards with different names from your deck to your hand. So if you need to get like your Machina spell and trap card, you discard a Machina card, you get to add those cards in your hand. If you don't, you can just discard 1 random card, you can add 2 monsters. So it's just an incredible search engine card. Really awesome. Definitely run this at 3. I would not run it any lower. So next up, guys, we've got 2 Machina Defense Parameter. I absolutely love this card. I know a lot of Machina decks don't tend to run this, but I love this card entirely. its first effect is not that great, but it's the second one that makes it worth it to me. So pretty much while you control a level 7 or higher machine type monster, your opponent can't target your lower level 6 or lower machine type monsters with card effects or attacks, which is okay. It's not the greatest, but what makes this really good is that every time a machine type monster is destroyed once per turn, you can add any machine monster from your graveyard to your hand. And that is incredible. So anytime a face-up machine type is great, and that really procs well with Citadel. So if you use Citadel's effect to choose himself to pop the field, you will get the effect of Machina defense parameter because a face-up machine monster was destroyed by battle or by card effect. So it is very, very great for recycling. I absolutely love this card. It saved me a lot. And helps really combo with it too. Next, guys, we've run our 3 urgent scheduling. I absolutely love this card. I think it is devastatingly badass. So pretty much what this will do for you is that you can use it when your opponent has more monsters than you. If they have more monsters than you, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower machine monster, or one level 5 or higher machine earth type monsters from your deck to your field. But you can't attack unless it's machine type, which it doesn't matter in this deck because they're all machines except for Scrap Golem. So once this set card is destroyed, if this set card is destroyed, you can add a level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand, which is incredible. So this card is just absolutely amazing because you can easily combo with this card, and it is incredible. Really recommend running it at 3. Guys, so we have our budget version here. So we have run triple Dark Ruler No More here. I do not have the like Forbidden Droplets. I don't have like Blossoms. So this, to me, this is the poor man's version of these negations. If you need to quickly stop your opponent from kind of negating your, pretty much preventing you from playing, because there are really strong boards out there, Dark Ruler No More states that you negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls, so they can't use their effects. They can't react even to this card effect. Monster effects cannot be activated to the effect activation of Dark Ruler No More. They can only use trap and spell cards to stop this, but they don't lose damage. But the idea is that you will be able to kind of clear their board with Machina Citadel and then kind of set up your defenses, and the next turn try to go for the finishing game. I absolutely love this deck. Something you'll see in a lot of these videos that you'll see from our channel is that we run a lot of Dark Rulers because we just don't have the funds to be able to get those big ones. Yeah, Dark Ruler No More, incredible card, recommend it. You can run it even at 2. I prefer at 3, just so you have one in your hand ready to go. And next up, guys, we run 2 supply squads. So this card is really amazing. To me, it's like our poor version of Pot of Extravagance and Pot of Greed. So pretty much, this is something to keep in mind, that this is a once per turn per card. So meaning if you have 2 of these, if a monster is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you draw a card. This will stack upon each other. So if you have 2 of these, you will get to draw 2 cards, which is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this card. I have won a lot of duels just because I was able to sustain myself by having both parameter and supply squad on the field. So I'm drawing 2 cards and adding a machine type monster from my graveyard to my hand really comes in handy. I absolutely love it. Next up, guys, we got Machina Overdrive, my 2 little trap cards to kind of use as a defensive skill or defensive card in case I need to quickly get my Citadel out of the deck if I can't search it fast enough. Pretty much you target one machine monster you control, you're supposed to summon any Machina with a different name from your deck to your field, and then you destroy that monster. So if I need to get Citadel quickly to the field, I will easily use this card, pop my machine monster to get my Citadel out, and then I'll have Citadel ready to go to nuke my opponent's field. The second effect is that if it's in your graveyard, you can actually take 3 of your banished machine type monsters, or 3 of your machine type monsters that are in your graveyard, and shuffle them back into your deck, and you get to draw a card. So it's just a nice little card that you can kind of use as a side thing. So that's really nice. Now also keep in mind though, this is very similar to Orochi, where you can only use 1 effect per turn. So you can't use the summoning effect and the draw effect both turns. It has to be one or the other, but it's still very good card. Really recommend it. And guys, moving to the extra deck, it's very, very limited because I don't have too much, but I run 1 Dreadnought Dreadroid. This card's okay. It's 2 level 4 monsters or more, you can decide, but pretty much when he destroys a monster by battle, you can special summon any rank 10 exceed monster from your extra deck and attach it to him. So it's pretty good on that aspect. But usually with Citadel and Bullet Train, you really don't ever really go into this. It's rare that I go into it, but if I need to like pretty much exceed my Machina gear frame and my possessed storage, I pretty much will just go into this as a backup. But going on to the big boys, if you have your Citadel and your Fortress Bullet Train, you can go into first Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav. I absolutely love this card. 3k beat stick. I mean, it's okay on that front, but what makes it great is you attach material and you gain your opponent loses 2,000 life points. It's incredible. You can easily nuke your opponent really hard, and then once you're done with that effect, you can go ahead and overlay it with Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Juggernaut. So what this states is that you can just overlay this card with a rank 10 exceed monster. So machine type to keep in mind, and then you transfer those materials to this card. You can detach a material to increase his attack by 2,000 attack and defense. However, you can only attack with him at that point, but it really makes up for it because he can attack multiple times based on his materials that are attached to him +1. I've been able to OTK people just by attaching a material and just go 1 2 3 and they'll get killed, so they'll lose all their life points. Plus, consider you already inflicted 2,000 points, you just have to inflict 6,000 and he already gets a 6,000 attack boost. So he is very, very strong on that aspect as well. As a side card, I run also number 81 Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Super Dora, just because one, nice beat stick, pretty nice effect as well. I don't go into it often, but it is usable, and I do go into it like once in a while to kind of really hinder my opponent's monster. If they try to like equip it with something or they're trying to like beef it up, I will target the monster, and pretty much what it states there, once per turn during either player's turn, you can attach one material and then target one face up on the field, and that target is unaffected by card effects except for its own effects. So it really comes in handy if you need to kind of interrupt your opponent's plays that way. But otherwise, I usually go into Gustav Max. So next up, guys, for our scrap engine, we have our Scrap Wyvern. I would really recommend running that 2. I only have enough for 1 right now. This card is amazing. Pretty much what it states is that you special summon 1 scrap monster from your graveyard, and then you destroy a scrap card or destroy any card you control. If you destroy a scrap monster while this card's on the field, you can special summon any scrap monster from your deck to your field and then pop a card on the field. Obviously, this combos really well with Scrap Golem, who then brings out your Scrap Recycler, which will then allow you to pitch a card to the graveyard. And what's amazing is that when you do the effect to destroy Scrap Recycler on the initial summon, you can get the effects of your Machina Defense Parameter, your Supply Squads, and your Citadel that is in the graveyard. They will all proc, and then you special summon your Golem. So I have been able to flood the field extremely quickly with Scrap Wyvern. It's very, very powerful. Love that card. And then otherwise, guys, you go into your basics that a lot of people tend to run. You've got your Appaloosa, you've got your Boral Sword, then you got, some people go into the Blackluster Soldier, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Unicorn. That's definitely up to you. At that point, Machinas don't really need their extra deck, in my opinion. I think they run really well without the extra deck, aside from Scrap Wyvern. So I barely go into these cards. If anything, the most I would usually go into is Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. I think it's a really, really good card, really, really powerful as well. And yeah, guys, that is the deck build for Machina. You guys, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. If you liked the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. And guys, we're going to be having another video for people that really want to learn more about the Machina lineup and like what more you can do here. We just kind of gave you guys the basics of what we tend to run in this deck, but for the combos, we're gonna make another video. It's way more in depth. It's gonna be like twice as long, that goes into way more details, and we'll be actually showing you guys the stuff that you can do with this deck. So guys, thank you so much. You guys are incredible. This is our Machina build for the Obsidian Academy. I'm Nemo Devo, guys, and I hope you like this video, and I'll see you around.